What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 111 of the Idiotic Sports Talk. I'm your host, Liam Gavin, coming to you live from my dining room. And today, I just want to give you all the recap of round one of the play-in tournament. We'll start with the Tuesday night games. We have the Nets beating the Cavs 115-108. Kevin Durant had 25 points, 11 assists. Kyrie Irving, 34 points and 12 assists. And even the role players, Bruce Brown, 18 points, 9 boards, 8 assists. And Andre Drummond, in just 19 minutes of play, had 16 points and 8 boards. As for the Cavaliers, Darius Garland, 34 points, 5 assists. Kevin Love off the bench with 14 points and 13 boards. And Karis LeVert had 12 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds. So the Nets, they had a huge lead in this game. They ran it up by 20 points. And eventually the Cavs fought tooth and nail to come back, and they made it a really close game. But every time the Cavs got close, the Nets just said, not on our court. And Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant would, they would respond with a huge bucket. I mean, Kyrie Irving started the game 12 for 12. He could not miss. So they were definitely playing for something big. And of course, they won because of it. And they are now the 7th seed in the East, and they will have a date with the Boston Celtics, who are the 2nd seed in the first round of the playoffs. While the Cavaliers are not going home, they will be playing the Atlanta Hawks tonight, and the winner of that will advance to the playoffs. As for the other Tuesday night game, we have the Clippers and Wolves. The Wolves did beat the Clippers by the score of 109-104. This was a really fun game to watch. It was back and forth. The Clippers had a 10-point lead, which isn't anything at all in basketball, but they were gaining momentum, and the Wolves just hung in there and kept going and doing their thing like they've been doing all season. Anthony Edwards had 30 points. D'Angelo Russell had 29 points. And even guys like Pat Beverly, he had 11 rebounds, and Jared Vanderbilt had 10 rebounds. And, grabbing boards will help teams win games. And as for the Clippers, Paul George, he had a great night. He had 34 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. So the Wolves will be going on to advance as the 7th seed in the West, and they will be playing the 2nd seed Memphis Grizzlies. As for the Clippers, they're not going home, but they will be playing the 9th seed New Orleans Pelicans tonight. And after the game, the Timberwolves point guard Pat Beverly had a lot to say. He was celebrating like he won a championship, but you can't blame the guy. He's very energetic. He has a lot of charisma, and he really cares about this team. A lot of people said that the Wolves weren't making the playoffs this year. Patrick Beverly in the beginning of the season said they're making the playoffs. He was right about that. And he got some bittersweet revenge against his former team, the Clippers. They kind of left him out to dry. They kind of got him off the team. They didn't want him anymore. So for him to get that win against his former team means a lot to him. He was talking a lot of trash after. He went on Instagram Live, was saying some profanities about his former team, saying that they were trash, they were bums. But you got to love that energy. There's times where I can't stand Pat Beverly. I know a lot of people can't stand him, a lot of fans. But at the end of the day, you got to give a lot of credit to a guy like Pat Beverly. The NBA needs players like him. As for the Wednesday night games, we have the Hawks crushing the Hornets 132-103. Trae Young, 24 points and 11 assists. The center, Clint Capella, 15 points, 17 boards. And DeAndre Hunter with 22 points. As for the Hornets, LaMelo Ball had 26 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. And Terry Rozier had 21 points on the night. So this was a close game in the first half. But then in the second half, the Hawks just ran away with it. Like, Trae Young just started going crazy like he normally does in the second half of games. And the Hornets are not a good defensive team. So once Trae Young got hot, they really couldn't stop him. And because of that, they paid the consequence, and they got blown out in that second half. The final game on Wednesday I should be saying that the Hawks are playing the Cavaliers tonight while the Hornets are going home. And the final game on Wednesday was the Spurs taking on the Pelicans, where the Pelicans won 113-103. This was the only game I got wrong on the night. I picked the Spurs to win, so I went 3-1. And let's break this down. We had CJ McCollum. He went off. He had a good game. He scored 32 points to go with 7 assists and 6 rebounds. The center, Jonas Valanciunas, had 22 points and 14 boards. And Brandon Ingram, 27 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds. And as for the Spurs, DeJounte Murray, the point guard, had 16 points to go with 9 rebounds. And the center, Jakob Poeltl, he had 16 points with 9 rebounds as well. So, this was a fun game to watch. It was pretty close, and then the Pelicans started to pull away with it late. And because of that, they were able to get the win. And they'll be advancing tonight to play the Clippers as the 9th seed. Winner wins, they're in. Loser loses, they go home. And I'm going to give a video shortly after this one of who I think is going to be advancing tonight and who will be going home. That's it for the play-in tournament recap. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on my Instagram. Do whatever you can to share, like, and promote my page. Thank you all, and have a wonderful night.